to me, being able to cast a wider net and being able to broaden my market share, like I know for certain, right, that if I'm going to hire a lawyer, unless there's some kind of crazy disclaimer where it says I will take 15% off your price if you pay me in cash, I'm not going to go get cash. I'm going to go with the lawyer or the service or the business who takes credit cards.
Right.
And
Well, and two, it's that always be closing mentality, that ABC mentality that attorneys kind of have to learn with it too. So if I have a client that's coming into my office, say this was pre-COVID, but I have a client that's coming into my office, they want to retain my services, they've talked about it, they're ready, and I'm not offering credit cards. So I say, okay, perfect, that's going to be a $10,000 retainer. And I don't begin work until I get a signed fee agreement and the retainer payment in full. So they're immediately going to be like, I didn't bring $10,000 in cash. And again, over 55% of people don't have a checkbook or rarely use it. So they're going to say, oh, I didn't bring my checkbook either. So now all of a sudden I have to say, okay, well, you got to do what you got to do. So then I'm letting them leave my office to go to the bank to get cash or a money order, or to go home and grab their checkbook. And then in that time, every attorney, especially solo practitioners, are very familiar with this. During that time, the client is driving home and calling their cousin and saying, oh yeah, I met with Jordan, she was great, I'm gonna retain her, she told me XYZ, and she told me that, these are the probabilities of what we're looking at for our court case. And then said cousin is like, oh no, I read this article on Facebook, or I talked to a friend of a friend who also went through a divorce, and Jordan is wrong. This is the wrong attorney for you. You need to go and shop around for another attorney. And so all of a sudden, my client, who was more than willing to give me $10,000 15 minutes ago, is now having misgivings because of their cousin, who's now a Facebook attorney kind of a deal, or a Google scholar, told him something that was completely wrong, but it still is in his head. So now I've basically cost myself a client because I didn't offer that they could just put it on a credit card and I could get started and start working on their case that day. So that's my big thing too. You are potentially losing out on revenue if you're not offering that payment. And like for me, I want that money in my pocket and I want that fee agreement signed before they leave, period.
that hypothetical just gave me such a headache. And I was talking about this earlier today. So obviously what I do is marketing. I'm in this Facebook group for a company called SEMrush. If you don't know what SEMrush is, don't worry about it. It's for nerds. But we're talking about, and a lot of the people who are in this are like marketing agency side people who have real customers. And so they're like, does anybody have just make me feel better. Does anybody have an annoying customer who you told them what you wanted to do for them and how much it would cost? And they said, okay. And they left. And then they came back and they said, my nephew, he's 18, he does marketing on the side, he said he could do this for $200, not for $1,000 a month. Why can he do it for $200? And it's like, but no, you're totally right. And it's not even about always be closing mentality. It's really about like getting to work sooner too, why would you want to, and yeah, you're right. You are right. Why would you want to give anybody the opportunity to not hire you?
Right. Because I know how good I am. Let's not mince words with it. I know how good I am. I know that I can work that case and I know I'm going to be the best attorney for them. But at the same time, you need to be protecting yourself with that, because you can be the best attorney in the world. But if you're not offering these options to your clients, you're still losing that client.